screen. We are live. What's his name again? Hank?
Hank.
Hi, Hank.
You can't see his head.
Hello, Jason.
No.
We're with Hank. We're live because it's Periscope.
It is Periscope.
We were just doing some video that was not live that's going to get edited, but now we're doing our live video.
Yes.
I'm Trisha from FitLo, Denver. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining. Jason's my buddy. He's in Brookfield.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's starting a podcast for local fitness and
That's awesome.
and trainers. Yeah.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, so Dr. Kelly, I'm from FitLo Denver. My name is Trisha Olson, founder of FitLo Denver, all about going around Denver and talking with fitness and yoga specialists, trainers, studio owners, and I'm so thrilled to be here with you today, Dr. Kelly. And you are a sports medicine specialist.
I am.
And doctor.
Yeah,
and
it works.
And so all this week, FitLo is featuring and looking at or talking with our local experts about getting ready for the snow season. Yes, of course, Jason. Looking forward to your podcast. And we're doing a lot about exercises. We're talking to studio owners about that. And so today we're talking with Kelly about the exercises, of course, are important, but also beyond the exercises, how to keep your body ready and safe and recovery. What you put in your body makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And
how you treat your body afterwards.
Absolutely.
So we are going to start with, first of all, what are a couple of the big things that you see from your, hi Scotland, what do you see from your clients coming in when they first go out skiing and snowboarding?
Well, obviously when I see them, the aftermath, they're way sore, they can hardly move, with a lot of the muscular soreness. We've got the low back pain, and then knees always seem to be a really big issue for all of my people that come in.
Yeah, the knees?
Yes.
Yeah, and the low back.
And low back. And hopefully nobody goes and hits their head, so...
Yeah. Wear your helmets.
Yes, wear your helmets, please. Please.
Yeah. And so what do you recommend for those people when they come in?
So with the soreness factor, obviously.
I think so too. Here, have a candy bar.
Yeah. So with muscle soreness, one of the biggest things that happens to us is that we're not hydrating enough. We're not hydrating enough before we go up. We're not hydrating enough of the right kind of fluids during the whole process, and then just not getting enough replenished afterwards. You're going to be cranking through a lot more of your water and your electrolytes while you're actually up at altitude. Not that you're going to be sweating per se, depending on how warm or cold it ends up being when you first go out, but you're still going to be going through a lot of that. So helping with the muscle soreness to rehydrate, which, half your body weight in ounces is really more scientific way of doing that. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then you want to be consuming at least, 100 ounces per day. And a lot of people will front load this. They'll try to do really good the day before they go, but it doesn't really work that well. So it's better a few days in advance. Obviously, you should be doing that on a regular basis anyway to keep your joints healthy and your muscles happy and your organs and everything else. So try to really hydrate well before you go. Hydrate while you're actually on the mountain, not of the alcohol variety. If you are doing that, then obviously you want to make up for that too with the extra water while you're up on the hill, and then definitely when you get back home. Other things that you can do.
Before we go there, I just want to recap. So I'm Trisha from FitLo Denver. Water or Gatorades, not always the best.
That's next.
Yeah, that's next. So I just want to recap real quick. I'm here. I'm Trisha from FitLo Denver with Dr. Kelly. We're talking about getting ready for the ski season and what to do to prepare your body beyond just the physical aspect of doing exercises, but making sure you are hydrated. And that doesn't mean just like 3 hours before drinking a gallon of water.
Right.
We're talking 3 days at least.
Yep.
Start. Make sure you're drinking half your body weight of ounces of water.
Yep.
3 days before, which you should be doing anyway, but make sure you do it 3 days before. So you're well hydrated when you get on the mountain, and this is going to help your recovery so that you don't get as much muscle soreness.
Absolutely.
And plus it's just good for your joints.
It's very
good. So now going on the next topic, we talked about electrolytes.
Yes.
We need to keep your electrolytes replenished. And what is the best way? Gatorade isn't the best option.
No, and somebody just asked about that, so thank you for doing so. I'm not the biggest fan of those just because of the other sugars and the other things that are in those products. One of the easiest things you can do is grab coconut water. It's been known to be a good electrolyte replacement as well. There are definite different alternatives out there that are healthier that are on the market, is sport drinks that don't have dyes, they don't have the sugars that you can look for. But some of the other things that you can do to replace your electrolytes is through food. Bananas have potassium, which unbeknownst to most people, celery actually has more potassium than bananas do, but either of those would be a great option for replacing your potassium. Magnesium is a huge electrolyte that most of us are actually deficient in, so great place to get that. If you love oysters, consume a bunch of them. Okay, magnesium is super important for a lot of different processes, not just avoiding muscle soreness or cramping. You can also, if you're not really the biggest fan of oysters, lots of raw pumpkin seeds or pepitas have a pretty good source of magnesium as well. Your calcium, any of your dairy products or your milk alternatives, if you prefer more of those, go for that.
Katie's my friend.
Fried bananas, huh? Well, sure. There's still potassium in there.
Probably still better than Gatorade.
Yeah, probably. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, and then sodium, obviously we are getting enough sodium generally in our food, but Celtic sea salt, Himalayan, if we're going to add that to anything, those are more of the varieties that I would. So those are kind of your better alternatives for replacing your electrolytes. And really a great rule of thumb is if you're going to be out on the hill all day long, you don't want to just drink water all day long. Maybe you could actually consume maybe 45 minutes into it or within an hour or so, get some of those electrolytes in. I know for those of you who in the summertime like to run and cycle and more endurance type athletes, we're told, you know, within 45 minutes we want to start replacing that, and then every 45 minutes thereafter. He's totally not my boyfriend.
We just thought he was cool. I just wanted him. It was my idea. I wanted him. Does the calcium restrict absorption of other minerals?
No, and actually a funny thing too is calcium needs to be balanced with magnesium. So if you are going to supplement, you'll see that most of those are combined. You will also find them sometimes combined with or given an adjunct to D, because they need to be balanced with your vitamin D. D3 is the best form of that. But there's another vitamin that people aren't so familiar with that really needs to be in balance with those four, which is K2. K2 actually helps keep calcium in your bones. It's different from K1. K1 has to do with clotting. So if you're wanting to supplement, you can find calcium magnesium supplements. You can just get straight magnesium, because honestly they're now saying, with everybody being freaked out about osteoporosis, we're getting plenty of calcium. We're very deficient in magnesium, so go with magnesium. Stay away from magnesium oxide and citrate. Go for the other forms. Just stay away from those because they don't work as good, and if you have a lot of them, you'll end up with diarrhea, which if you need that problem, have at it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
No, that defeats the hydration purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then also the Gatorade question, if you know, if it's the only thing you have, I mean,
Right.
drink it. But
Yeah.
but try to plan ahead and grab something. Nice thing here in Colorado, there's even like natural grocers in like
Up in the
Breckenridge
mountains.
area. Yeah.
Well, heck, there's a Whole Foods up there
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So you can find the more natural options. But if you are in need, you know, you drink the Gatorade. You know,
Definitely.
I mean, you know, Gatorade over beer. But we are getting to that too, because
Yeah.
everybody wants a beer after they ski. And obviously you just have to be realistic. That's going to happen.
Right.
That a beer or two is going to happen. So
More than likely.
so
just
yeah.
drink more water in conjunction with that to help, you know, the alcohol, regardless of its form, whether it's hard or wine or beer, they're all going to work at dehydrating. So just make sure for like every beer you have a nice big glass of water as well. Obviously, the higher elevation that you go up, you don't necessarily need as much in order to get the same type of buzz as what we would need down here. So you won't necessarily have to drink as much. And if you force yourself to drink the water, maybe you won't end up as sloshed as you possibly could too without knowing it.
Yeah.
So that could be also helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, and that will not help your muscle recovery at all.
No,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
at all.
All right, cool. Well, are there any other questions? We just have a couple people left on. So thank you for joining us. If you plan ahead, any specific sups for convenience?
So sups as far as like electrolyte type sups, is this what we're talking about, my friend? Potentially? You know, you can always, what you can always have on hand that packs really easily are those goo packs that all of us crazy endurance athletes use, or the goos or the shot blocks. Those have electrolytes in them, and they have pretty decent ratios. Not a lot of them have magnesium in them, but they will have your sodium and potassium, and that does definitely work. So you can always keep those on hand. They pack well. You could stick it in your coat pocket.
And are those better than Gatorade? Depends on the brand.
Yeah. They have some like Stingers are more natural. There's another brand out on the market called Vespa, which is a totally different thing coming from wasp extract. I don't really know. It's supposed to help you burn more fat and not have the same type of carbohydrate content. But when you're active like that, we need to have them, and most of them don't have dyes. And then they do have sugars, which is going to help keep fueling the muscles if you're not actually eating. And that's where you get into that kind of gray area where those are actually okay during that time frame. But on a regular basis, no, I wouldn't do that. Just supplements in general, like I was saying, you know, a good magnesium supplement. You don't necessarily need to support with calcium. Again, if you go to any of your local health food stores, you can ask the people that are in charge of that department of what would be really good for my muscles, not necessarily needing issues or help with constipation. So just magnesium for muscles. That's really one of the main ones, honestly. And then supporting just how the body handles cortisol, which is a stress hormone. There's different things that you can do to help support, and that will actually help decrease muscle soreness too. So if you're looking for supplements to help kind of keep the body in check, an adrenal support and magnesium would probably be some of my biggest go-tos. Protein is always a great thing, you know, helping provide more of the nutrients back to the muscles that you just burnt up on the hill. So hopefully that helps. I mean, we could go on forever about that topic, but I don't think you want to. We can do a recap a different day on those. So anyway, Epsom salt soaks work really well too, guys, for recovery after the fact. And you don't honestly have to get in a whole tub of water unless you want to. I mean, some people just don't, or they don't have a bathtub, so you can just get a big old bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket, put in a quarter cup of that, you know, to the warm water that's in the bucket and dunk your feet in it, and that will help kind of pull some of that lactic acid and the buildup as well.
So your actual like leg doesn't have to be submerged. Even just your feet in will help the entire body. Learn something new.
Yeah, hey, I learn new things all the time too. Keeps life entertaining, guys. So, anyway.
Well, hopefully you learned something new today. Thank you so much for joining us. And we've got our friend. He needs a girlfriend. Anybody? He's not my boyfriend. He's not yours.
No.
And we've decided it's a he.
His name's Hank.
Hank, yeah. So he does need a girlfriend. If anyone knows of a girlfriend for Hank,
let us know.
Tweet me at FitLo Denver, and we'll hook him up.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks. See you later.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.